G'day, I'm Jess Skarratt and welcome to Surfing Australia TV, coming to you from beautiful Rainbow Bay on the Gold Coast. Well, we have a huge show planned for you today, and here's a quick snapshot of what you can expect. Former Ironwoman queen Carla Gilbert is considered Australia's greatest ever female surf lifesaver. And with a fierce competitive spirit like hers, it's no surprise that she's been lured out of retirement by another water sport. And already in a short time, she's absolutely dominating the world of stand-up paddleboarding. How did you get into stand-up paddleboarding? How would that transition from surf lifesaving to this sport?
Well, I got a surfing one probably about 5 years ago, and it wasn't really till I suppose after my second daughter was born that I sort of was like, oh yeah, I wouldn't mind getting one of those other sort of pointy nose boards. I used to call them, and just go, because we live on a canal, just go for some paddles on that. And there was a race on the Gold Coast, and I entered that, and sort of just went from there.
Carla is a natural athlete. She is just going to be good at whatever she does. So she's picked up stand-up really well. She's sponsored already. Carla coming to our group was fantastic for me. She says she's not a competitor really, but she is deep down, I know, and I can see it coming out in her. We paddle a lot, we get along really great. It's just super fun, we do train a lot, and it's great. We do some long paddles together, and just have a good laugh at the same time, so it's good.
And that's the reason why I sort of wanted to start training with this group, because there's a lot of great girls in this group, and obviously Angie's in the group, and she's obviously one of Australia's best, and it's just been nice to come down and have the support from Angie, and she's always helpful with advice, because she just knows so much about the sport. So it's been sort of one of the pluses. And then you've got people like Luke Egan, a professional surfer who just comes down for the fitness side of things as well. Yeah, there's an all-round mix of people, and that's just part of why I love it as well.
Having competed in surf lifesaving and now stand-up paddleboarding, what are the differences or similarities? Are they both equally as challenging?
They both require a lot of skill, obviously. The skill I don't really have as yet in the stand-up paddleboarding. I'll readily admit that one. So that's just still a learning curve for me in this sport, which I really love. I really love the new challenge of doing this sport. It takes a lot of balance, especially when you're out in the waves and when you're on these boards that are, like 23, 24 inches, centimetres wide. It makes it even more unstable. So, there is that aspect of it, and it's just a completely different feel for me, because if I was still doing surf lifesaving, there'd still be that expectation, I guess, of having to be out there to to win and do all this thing. But I just feel a little bit more relaxed doing this sport. It's just a little bit more of an enjoyment.
Carla coming into stand-up, coming from such a enormous background in surf lifesaving, being world champion, Australian champion so many times, brings a really good image to stand-up, especially being a mum of 2 kids as well. She does find the time. I don't know how she does it, but she does find the time to come training, and I think her as an ambassador overall is just unreal for the sport of stand-up.
Why would you encourage people to give it a crack?
Well, from the people that I know that have just given it a try recently, they're amazed at how easy it is. I think that a lot of people think that it's something that you have to do if you're a surfer, and that's just not the case. Anyone can get on these. They're very foolproof. Anyone can get on these boards and just paddle them in the creek and feel like they get a good workout in their legs and their abs and their back and their arms. So basically it's just a sport that anybody can do, and everybody should give it a try.
early as you, Groms.
We always wanted to surf, but didn't know how. Then Mum found out about Vegemite Surf Groms.
You get an awesome Quicksilver pack. We learn all about the ocean and catching waves, and they have the best instructors.
It's like, woohoo! Anyone can do it.
Party wave?
So give it a go. Just go to surfgroms.com to join.
See you after that!
If you want to be a Steph Gilmore or you want to be the next Kelly Slater, you can't afford to go the path of taking drugs.
It kills me to think how many guys were good at what they were doing, had so many dreams and had so much potential, and had just thrown it away because the party scene on a Friday night was more important to them than the rest of the week and their surfing future.
All through my using, I thought that I had the power over drugs, and I thought that I could stop anytime I wanted to. I had no power over drugs. Drugs had all the power over me.
Surfing Australia teamed up with Save the Children to give a bunch of kids from remote Australia the chance to go surfing for the very first time. And as you can imagine, the reactions from these kids were priceless. It really was the trip of a lifetime.
In 2012, the Quicksilver Foundation and Surfing Australia had an ambitious target: to raise more than $80,000 so that 500 underprivileged Australian kids could join Surfing Australia's Vegemite Surf Groms program in 2013.
Last night we had the art auction for the community, but tonight's more about corporate people putting their hands in their pockets and really just, bidding up for some fabulous auction items, and hopefully we'll get enough cash to make a dream come true for these kids.
And with the night of success, both Quicksilver and Surfing Australia joined forces with several charities specialising in child welfare services like Save the Children to get the program underway.
Often it can be just one thing that they get to do that's different and feel really good about themselves, and that can often turn a life around for a young person, because it's like, wow, I can really do this. I've been able to surf, I've been able to get out on the waves and enjoy that freedom and that sense of achievement, and often that can be one thing that they go, well, I did that, and that can make a big difference.
Located 1,000 kilometres northwest of Sydney, Wilcannia, the town once known as the Queen City of the West, has succumbed to generations of neglect, resulting in social problems affecting the town's Indigenous community, due directly to lack of work, causing social unrest and despair, particularly for young people.
They live every day through a lot of, a lot of barriers, being in a small community, limited resources.
What do you reckon about the pub?
I reckon they should shut it down and build a PCYC or somewhere, mate.
If you had too much alcoholic and that, well then your mind will slip away on you. I drank alcoholic, but I drank it with respect, with myself.
We live in a kind of a bubble in Australia to some degree. Of course, in Wilcannia and around there, there's pockets of it here in Australia. No one can get away from it. Where if you've got good stuff, you're going to have the bad stuff too.
With this particular program, Save the Children is based out in Wilcannia, and we contacted Save the Children because we know they work with a lot of underprivileged kids around Australia.
So why is Save the Children here in Wilcannia?
The kids here face, challenging things every day that other children in Australia wouldn't necessarily face, and that's why we've come in to offer some assistance to help with those challenges and, provide a future for the children.
I think it's gone through a very bad period, but that seems to be regenerating. There are issues, just like there are issues in any town. However, there are passionate Indigenous people on this staff, as there are at the Central School, as there are in the local community. They are the future of this town.
That's the only thing was make this town look bad, the pub.
Today I think if I had heaps of gold or whatever to try and change things, I'd buy the alcoholic in Wilcannia. Really serious, because in Australia, because there's a lot of young people dying.
world champion in amongst these underprivileged kids.
And I've got goosebumps. I don't know if you can see that, but I've got goosebumps thinking about. I've got goosebumps thinking about what these kids are going to experience.
So the Quicksilver Foundation's raised the money to get these kids through the Vegemite Surf Realms program. What does it mean to these kids, do you think?
It's an amazing opportunity. The kids are so excited. They've never seen the beach or the surf before, so it's definitely an amazing opportunity, maybe a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for these guys. But it's not only that, it gives them, you know, they're being trusted by their parents to, you know, go out and explore, I guess, Australia.
1, 2, 3, 4.
This is something new for them, and from there something else could grow. That's the main thing, you know. You never know what will come out of a positive program. Yeah.
Ready? Coming in, showing warm.
We visited the school, and again, it was not what we expected at all. It's a small school. All the kids there are so charismatic.
Can you do backflip?
Okay, so we're going to be in the water, we're going to have surfboards, you're going to be in wetsuits, we're going to be all sunscreened up as well, we're going to be in the surf, we're going to be about this deep in the surf, okay? We're going to jump on our surfboards right now, and I want you to go like that for me, okay? Bend your knees, arms out, you two, come on, come on. That's it, looking at me too, looking at me. Now go even lower, all the way down, now back up. And that's what we're going to be doing. But when you're doing that, the principal there is fantastic. Came out of retirement just to go to Wilcannia with his wife, with his family, and dedicate himself to just providing a really solid education for these kids out there.
The reason was simply because I am passionate about children's education, and I know how difficult it is to get teachers and teacher leaders to come out to very remote communities.
How about everyone draw a surfer on a wave? So who of you guys have been surfing before?
The future for me is to see people like Bark and G, leaders in this school who are aides, go on to become teachers and hence take on this school or other schools in the area.
So Chris, what's your role out here at St Teresa's School?
My role at St Teresa's is an AEW, which actually stands for Aboriginal Education Worker. Our job is just to assist the kids in their learning, getting the wider community and their parents and that involved in things that we do over here.
Obviously a really important step forward for the, I guess, the future of Wilcannia.
Yeah, it's pretty big because we want these kids to go on and, you know, achieve what they are capable of achieving, but yeah, we're behind them like 100% and just to hope they, you know, get the best out of life.
They get picked up from their home directly and taken to school. They get dropped off back at their homes as well at the end of the day. They get 2 solid meals a day. They're provided with all the education. It's fantastic.
It's like wherever you've got challenge, you've got support. And right now, look what they've got. They've got this incredible support right now.
It's not easy teaching Indigenous children, okay, but it's not easy teaching any kids these days. But we relish the fact that we get up each morning with a smile on our face and come to school. At least I do.
We've got the sun up in the corner over here. A few seagulls maybe. He looks pretty happy.
Kids are super resilient. They're little spiritual beings, I believe, that are on their own path. We're just there to kind of guide them the best we can.
The real Australian people up in my age and that, I think that they got to go back and have a good look where they grew up and find out who they really are. And it's very important, yeah, for the kids.
Well, it's just about 25 to 6 in the morning, and we are picking up a lot of our students. We do this in the mornings, picking them up for school, but this morning is it's a different circumstance because they're heading off on the big Vegemite Surf Groms excursion, and are they excited? And we are excited for them.
Let's go surfing, eh? We going surfing? Ew! On you get, boys. Excited? High five. High five. Girls. Woo! Had the question asked, what if a tsunami comes? And I said, that's what you got surfboards for. This is so good. This is so good. These kids are so amped. Don't blame them. Are we there yet? No!
You reckon the surf's going to be pumping when we get there?
When I heard that there was an opportunity with these kids coming from, you know, way out west, that the foundation had raised funds for, you know, I kind of live for these moments.
They got to Darlington Beach Holiday Park at about midnight last night. The kids were ecstatic, you know, you couldn't have told that they'd just got off an 18-hour journey across the desert, halfway across Australia, basically.
Guys, you see the beach?
Oh my God!
Who's ready to go surfing? Yeah, let's go!
They were obviously pretty tired, but still really stoked to be here and really stoked to get involved in what they were going to be doing the next day.
Come on guys, who wants to come down the beach?
Any opportunity that affords these children to go on an excursion is great, I think, because it provides opportunity for our children to be exposed to the wider world. The isolation here is the killer. Kids don't get away much.
Who's the best surfer in the water?
The one that has the most fun.
The one that has the most fun. And that's what that's why our motto for the whole next 2 days is.
Okay, we're going in, guys. You ready? Woohoo! I mean, yeah, they've obviously seen the river and all that before, but never would have seen the, I guess, the energy of the ocean and just salt water and stuff like that. I'm pretty stoked to be part of it, actually.
Something's gone on in their mind today, and just through the acts of Vegemite Surf Groms and the foundation and everyone involved in this whole shoot and just that whole energy. The goal is that I'm just another bloke who's there who may know how to surf. So I mean really it was just a little blip in time too. Something's lighting up there for them, and it'd be really nice to hear how they go with that experience down the track.
So they'll come back here where they will be able to write in their books about this, where they will be able to talk about this. Their self-esteem will be boosted, and isn't that all important in life?
It gives you a lot of pride, I guess, and just to see youngsters push forward and have a better, healthier life.
But for these kids, every little thing associated with what we're doing here is special to them. And it just means so much to me and to everyone else involved in this program that you can see that in their faces. It's fantastic. It's the best thing that we've done with SurfCom so far, in my opinion.
It's an extraordinary experience. It's just an honour, an absolute honour.
This program here might be just a trip and a holiday, but you don't know what comes out of it, you know? We might end up with another, Kelly Slater. Kelly Slater from the desert, how about that? That'll be something to know, eh?
When it's free up, we go to river and swim. When we go fishing, we catching a brim. When the river's high, we jump off the bridge. When we get home, we play some dig. When it's free up, we go to river and swim. When we go fishing, we catching a brim. When the river's high, we jump off the bridge. When we get home, we play some dig.
Call me Wally, this way I'm at. I wear my NRL baseball cap. Let them out of my team if you know what I mean.
If you've always wanted to learn to surf, Vegemite Surf Groms is the best way to get involved. To find out more, just jump onto our website. Does your cutback need work? Do you want to learn how to do aerials? Or do you just feel you could surf a whole lot better? Take your surfing to the next level with help from www.surfcoach.com. Surfcoach.com is an interactive website to help improve your surfing. The site isn't just for competition surfers, but any surfer who just wants to do a better turn, learn a new move, or simply be more confident whenever they enter the ocean. Visit www.surfcoach.com now to find that edge you've been looking for.
The world's best surfers ride them, and now you can too. Surfsim.com is giving you the chance to win your very own custom DHD surfboard. Surfsim.com offer great deals on travel sims. Travel Sim are the experts in prepaid global roaming and are the smart way to use your mobile phone when travelling overseas. So surf the net to surfsim.com now for your chance to win your DHD board, and remember Travel Sim for your next trip.
A selection camp for Travel Sim Team Australia was held at the Hurley Surfing Australia High Performance Centre. 24 of our best junior surfers were there to battle it out for just 12 spots in a team to represent our country at this month's ISA World Junior Championships being held in Nicaragua in Central America.
Each year, Surfing Australia holds a selection camp at the Hurley Surfing Australia High Performance Centre to select the junior athletes for Travel Sim Team Australia. This year, the camp is 3 days worth of surfing heats and fitness evaluations. The camp plays a critical role in determining which surfers will make the team and represent Australia at the ISA Junior World Titles in Nicaragua.
In 2013, it's the first year that the ISA have introduced 2 tiers in the age division for the girls. There's going to be 2 under 18 girls and 2 under 16 girls.
The 8 girls who have been invited to the selection camp have shown consistent results with their competitive surfing and are considered to be the next crop of elite Australian female surfers.
Over a 3-day period, they've got to surf 6 heats. It's phenomenal to see that a new breed of girls are hot on the heels of the older girls now. Obviously, when they get to the world titles in Nicaragua, those who make the team, you know, it'll be a totally different wave to what they're used to.
It's always really fun to surf with lots of your friends, and everyone's out there and everyone's having fun and everyone's talking and laughing, and I feel like you surf a lot better when you're surrounded by your friends.
So we've been preparing for quite a long time for this. We've done it a number of times.
It's enjoyable hanging out with all your friends, and but there's also a serious side to it.
We know that we've got the right kids here, so they, as I said before, they just need to come and do their job, and we'll select a team from what we know.
Over the last few days, there was a few mixed emotions. Sometimes I felt nervous, sometimes I felt confident.
There's not going to be any hard feelings when you come in from the water, because we all know what we have to do, we all know what we have to do to win.
The most important thing that an athlete needs to have is a passion for the sport.
At the end of the day, you've got to love surfing and enjoy surfing to do well in it.
To get into the Australian team, you've got to be able to surf all different conditions.
Yeah, I think these days the athletes that are on the right path to success are the ones that, you know, are really putting in the hard work. You know, and you can definitely see it in their surfing performance.
The biggest challenge for this selection camp would definitely have to be the waves.
The girls continue to demonstrate the passion and ability they've displayed throughout the competition year. Martin and his team from the Hurley Surfing Australia High Performance Centre have their work cut out for them in selecting the final 4 to represent Australia. Part of the criteria at the Hurley Surfing Australia High Performance Centre is a fitness test that proves to be a real challenge.
Yeah, the 400 metre paddle was really hard, really tiring.
you want to put everything you got into it. It was quite hard by the end. I was just laying in the pool.
Not so much the testing in the gym, it's the endurance paddle at the end that you have to do.
I think participating in these sort of selection camps, it just gives you really good opportunities to improve your surfing and push your surfing.
All 8 girls at the selection camp ranked in the top 4 in their division in Australia. The competition for selection to represent their country was tightly contested.
Kind of wish they could take all of us, but it's only half of us.
Being invited to try out for the Travel Sim Team Australia is an immense privilege and achievement in itself, considering that Australia is the #1 surfing nation in the world.
I look forward to the opportunity for some of these kids to stand up and it could be their first step on a really successful career.
Australia's leading sports organisations have made a pledge to tackle youth binge drinking.
Now when you watch your favourite sports like football, basketball, swimming,
netball and surfing,
you won't see alcohol sponsorship.
You'll see this logo.
Because the less exposure young people have to alcohol promotion,
the better.
We're strong enough to say enough.
And you can be too.
Back your judgment.
Stand up for what you believe in.
Be the influence.
Getting ready? Not as many as you, Gromps.
We always wanted to surf, but didn't know how. Then Mum found out about Vegemite Surf Gromps. You get an awesome Quicksilver pack. We learn all about the ocean and catching waves, and they have the best instructors. It's like, woohoo! Anyone can do it. Party wave? So give it a go. Just go to surfgromps.com to join. See you at the back!
Well, that's another show all wrapped up. FYI, our website is loaded with great info on everything that we do, and we would absolutely love it if you could hit us up on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. I'm Jess Skarratt, and I'll see you next time for more Surfing Australia TV.